Good morning and welcome to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the fabulous Arizona Center. And
it's a hump
day.
Yep.
Humpty hump.
Is that why you're so dressed up and looking fabulous and pink?
Indeed.
Oh boy.
So, well, I also got dressed up because we have word of the day.
Oh, yay.
So please do the honors of ripping that Band-Aid off. No paper cuts. Oh, all right. All right, so bellwether is our word of the day.
Bellwether.
All right, so it's a noun, and it's one that takes the lead or initiative. Leader, also an indicator of trends. So their sentences, analysts are watching the company, which is widely regarded as a bellwether for the tech market, for indicators of a strategy change. That would have been a good word for yesterday with the tech conference.
Well, let's just change it. You are a bellwether of fashion inspiration in Arizona, Marshall.
At least in my own mind, because yeah.
Or I could say, sometimes your fashion choices leave me bumfuzzled.
Ah, see then, as well as myself. I'm like,
that's like the only word of the day I've retained so far is bumfuzzled.
So, well, we have a great show for everyone out there today. We've got a guest. We've got fun stuff coming up. So, shall we take a break and get on with it?
Let's do it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with one of my friends and fantastic filmmaker, so keep it right here.
Happy Hump Day and welcome to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
fabulous Arizona Center.
And we have a really, really talented filmmaker here. We've got Adolpho. How are you today?
Great, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. So you have quite the legacy as an Arizona filmmaker here.
I guess so.
Well, you're very prolific in what you've done. Do you want to share a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, I've been an Arizona native my whole life. Around 9 years old, just started making movies on a VHS camera. It's from a small town, so there's nothing else really to do. And I think what's cool about that is just like that gave me my creative ideas because there was nothing to do. So, but I loved films.
Yeah.
Which small town?
Globe, Arizona, so obviously like 90 miles east from here.
Yeah.
So I just started making films. I had a green screen once I realized I loved visual effects. Got into like Spielberg movies and Robert Rodriguez films, and had a green screen in my living room growing up. So my friends and family would just make movies. I found a little something online at that time to do green screen effects and text, and I was editing between two VCRs most of my childhood up until high school, and then kind of just went from there. I was on America's Funniest Home Videos at one point, doing films in high school.
You were?
My buddy did a backflip for my film and landed on his face. It's on my YouTube channel, but like, so that was kind of like an avenue of realizing that like there's entertainment methods other than maybe just going to Hollywood and making movies.
Yeah.
Even though that was kind of at that time really the what you would want to do as a filmmaker. You enter festivals possibly, but it wasn't what it is now. It's so different now. So then I kind of moved out of there, and I went to college up the Art Institute of Phoenix up here in the West Side. And then was fortunate. I actually worked across the street here for 15 or so years at the University College of Medicine Phoenix, which is right across the street from your studio here, as a media production manager there for about a decade there. Okay. So, and now I work for the Phoenix Police Department. Well, actually, I work for the Phoenix Police Department just for the last 3 years now. I just recently transferred to Mesa Police Department as a video producer. So I'm there creating content. So obviously, that's kind of like where I've shifted with technology is content creation and short films.
Yeah.
And we've probably seen each other a lot over the years at film festivals, or like Phoenix Film Festival as like a panelist or a judge there, or the E3F film challenges, like they do 48-hour, 24-hour film challenges. Yeah. So I do a lot of those. I think I've done like 40 of those probably.
Wow.
Yeah. And you brought up that you kind of discovered that you liked visual effects, and that's something that's sort of a standout about your work compared to a lot of other local filmmakers, especially short film makers out here. yours
Yeah.
are often packed with
Yeah.
visual effects. Can you talk a little bit about that process and what you love so much about it?
I think I just wanted to do something. I don't know what gravitated my mind towards just unique film in visuals, like with like probably Steven Spielberg films like Jurassic Park and stuff, that I just found something in the uniqueness of visuals that I wasn't into like drama or anything like that, like musicals. I think I just gravitated more towards creating the impossible or doing something that takes you out of the normal of life, or just like Jurassic Park, like I would say. So like that's where I kind of got into. I wanted to shrink myself. I wanted to duplicate myself. So I'd see these movies for multiplicity. I would do like films where I would have 12 of myself like fighting each other or whatever. So I just felt that was, I think, creating something from zero to a result in the visual storytelling of visual effects was just something I just always kept with.
Yeah.
And translating that into social media.
Yeah.
So I found a knack there.
Yeah.
That when I work with social media specialists and such, like I found that it was an easy translatable skill.
Yeah.
So I use that a lot with social media, and there are some programs like CapCut and such that do those things, but with After Effects I'm very skilled in that product, so I will do the same things in there but efficiently.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of how I use it today.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always blows me away about his projects is like he'll have stuff in there that I just feel like most people wouldn't even attempt like to try to include, and
Yeah.
you're like, not only am I going to try to do it, but I'm going to try to do it like 12 times and like really intense, you know, and it's like holy
I think
cow.
that's just the uniqueness of my path of creation, is just I want to try and be unique or create something you don't see all the time.
Yeah.
If it's impossible, you just try, and you
Yeah.
can maybe achieve 50% of that if you just try, and then
That's-
it's
yeah.
crazy what you can do if you just try something. And I found that being like the motto of my life is just try, and then here I am making 3D explosions and aliens attacking people and stuff. When you try and pitch something like that to
Yeah.
others that want to be in your project, you know, they were going to do this, they're going to do all that, and they go, so how much was your budget? And be like, nothing. I mean, other than what we have.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the Robert Rodriguez type mentality comes into play, is you worry about that maybe at different times in the
Right.
creative process. You don't think of it, you can find ways to do things, maybe thinking outside the box. And I think that's kind of like my motto too, is I just think it and then we just try it.
And it's wild too, because he'll even do it for like timed, like
Yeah.
like film, like the challenges.
Like 40
yeah,
hour
like
film
the 40
festivals.
hour, like
Wow.
he'll
Oh,
do it
wow,
in
that's
those,
crazy
too.
for that,
Yeah, like
'cause-
stuff that I feel like I talk to filmmakers and they'll be like, oh, that would maybe take me like 3 months to do, and Adolfo's like, I'm gonna whip it out. I'm gonna whip it out in like 24 hours.
It's just, honestly, it's just honing your craft and what it is that you want to do,
Right.
and applying it to, like, for that it would be visual effects, it'd be an After Effects.
Yeah.
But I would shoot it and edit it and all of those elements too that cut down on the time that sometimes can take between big teams, I guess you
Right.
could say. So I'm visually looking at the shot of how I'm going to incorporate the visual effects while I'm shooting it.
yeah.
I'm assuming that cuts a lot of corners.
That's a benefit to being an editor and kind of knowing how to plan like that in
Right.
advance. The other thing that's kind of a hallmark of your films, I feel like, is it just looks like you have a lot of fun. Like it
Yeah,
looks like you have a
I
really
try,
good time.
for sure.
You work with your daughter a
Yeah,
lot.
so
yeah.
my daughter, my family, our YouTube channel, Adolpho 13, is like, you know, when you do all these films, I ended up incorporating my family because they're just there and they see what I do. So it was like a dream of mine of someday, maybe even with my kids, I can do projects with them. And then that started becoming a reality.
Yeah.
And then, so my daughter loves acting. My son likes to just be involved, but like, yeah, so we did, like, for a Chandler Film Festival, I did a movie, just an action movie, kind of like a John Wick movie a couple years back, and I pictured in my mind it'd be so awesome to do a film with her, and someday she can look back at it, and she was 6 at the time, and I'm this dad that has to, like, there's just a bunch of action that goes on. It's on YouTube as well, and like we ended up getting the Best Action Award. So I'm on stage with her, holding her,
That's
and getting my award for best action, and I was kind of choked up. But those are kind of like those, you visually think of something and it actually occurs. It's pretty wild when it comes to family, I guess you could say. So that was awesome.
That's a cool moment.
So do we have any examples?
Well, you've got a new project, right? Variant Z3?
Yeah, yes. So it's called Variant Z3. It's the third one in a trilogy. What's interesting about this project is I work with the Chandler Gilbert Community College, acting for camera class 1 and 2.
Oh,
these are students that attend Chandler Gilbert Community College, and I work with their theater director. Her name's Sky, and their makeup artist, Patty. So I write the scripts and provide that to them. They do an audition tape kind of on like Facebook, all the students that are in the class. I've never met them before. And off their performances of what they send me, I write the script. It's kind of cool because when do you ever get a script written for you?
Yeah.
Starting out. So
Usually when you get to be that A-list star, then that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like all levels. These are start out people, or maybe they've been in it for a while. So I'll write the script. And then in one weekend, kind of like film challenges, we shoot the entire film, and then I'll edit it by May when they graduate. So this is a film that is the third in a trilogy. Variant Z1 we did during COVID. We shot and then got shut down. COVID happened, so it was a 2-year, and I made it into a movie. It was kind of a crazy process with that, but it ended up getting over 100,000 views, and then we did a second one last year. Got the same type of viewership, so we're hoping this could be a cool little round out the trilogy, I guess.
Is that what we have the trailer for? Okay.
Well, sorry, that was a big long introduction.
No, that's
to it,
okay.
But I thought it was a pretty cool story.
That is a cool story.
No, it's a great story. How you got there?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer.
Shrunken Scott Blasters slayed last night. I'm still half deaf, but totally worth it. I know, right? Best night ever.
I can't believe we're back in person after everything that happened. Doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, well, deadly viruses can do that.
Did you guys see that? The virus is back!
Your body adapted to the infection.
What? She's like a hybrid, shows some exterior signs but is otherwise normal.
I'm sending a small team to extract the girl as we speak. We must protect her at all costs. Everyone else must remain on campus. Contain the threat, Covington.
Well, here we go.
Did you see the speed of infection? 5 seconds, tops. And forget about shooting him in the head.
Friendly or threat?
Smoke them.
The DNA seems to be the perfect weapon against this virus and has somehow merged with the evolved strain. Your blood is the key.
See you all in hell.
Oh my.
Woo! I love
You
it.
had to end it with something you might remember. So it's kind of fun.
Love a good zombie film.
Yeah.
Okay, so where can people watch this?
It's Adolpho 13. We will be just putting it on YouTube on May 10th. So
May 10th.
I think that's a Saturday, I believe, this year. So actually my son's birthday, but it just ended up happening to be that
And
same
right
time.
before Mother's Day.
Yep.
What a great
It's
way
nice-
to spend
nice
Mother's
gift
Day.
before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Right. So have your mom sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
And it's about 25 minutes long, so it's right in the middle of like a short
Okay.
film,
Nice.
like not as long as a feature film. So
Yeah. So
and Rage Media, sorry, is my other the company that I created
Right.
over this life adventure. So that's why
Yeah.
you see my brand come up and all that stuff on my shirt. So.
And is that where people can kind of follow all of your work and keep caught up
Yeah,
with what
so
you do?
enragemedia.com and -ragemedia.com is where I have all my stuff on YouTube, but all my socials and all that stuff, and I'll update that website all the time, and that's kind of where the one-stop shop for everything, I guess, would be in that location.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Well, I'm a fan of his work. I always think his stuff is really fun and entertaining and just high action. It's a good time. Like, his projects are a really good time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
to take a quick break. We'll be back after this with things to do, history, and your celebrations for the day.
And good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at the
Fabulous Arizona Center. And it's a hump day.
It is a hump day.
Indeed it is. And so let's talk about hump history.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I guess so. So, you know, Arizona has so many observatories. I mean, you've got Lowell Observatory, and on this date back in 1959, they announced at Kitt Peak that they were going to put in a brand new telescope. Now, it is east of Tucson. Nope, west of Tucson. I was like, wrong direction. So west of Tucson, and it is on the Tana Odom Reservation. And so this telescope would basically give them a whole new way to look at the universe. And so this is basically the building that was built to house that new telescope. It wasn't completely installed until 1962, but you know, go explore some space. There's so many places to do around Arizona.
Yeah, Lowell Observatory is very cool.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Biosphere 2 east of Tucson, you've got Kitt Peak west of Tucson, so
Yeah.
all kinds of fun stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
So go explore.
Yeah, do that. Go explore.
All right, then let's talk about some other things to celebrate. All right, well, our first one starts off with a poem.
Oh, yay.
Indeed. Mary had a little lamb. It sizzled, browned, and spiced.
Ooh.
And when she served it up with wine, it truly did entice. She rubbed it down with garlic cloves, with rosemary so bold, then roasted it for hours on end, a feast of tales retold. It followed her to dinner time on platters grand and wide, and every guest who took a bite beamed brightly with their pride. So raise your fork to May the 7th and honor Mary's meal, for roast leg lamb, both crisp and warm, deserves its gourmet meal. Today is roast leg of lamb day.
Wow, Mary got a little sassy there.
And
All
indeed
right.
she did, with some wine and some other things. And you know, the other day we were talking about outdated tech.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're celebrating today. It is National Paste Up Day.
Oh.
Going back to pre-computers, when people had to actually sit there and physically cut out images and paste them in, and before that digital age. And so here we have somebody doing just that, putting on borders for a newspaper, using all kinds of things like scissors, wax adhesives, blue ink that didn't reproduce. And so you could celebrate today by making collage, visiting a museum, and just kind of seeing how they did things back in the day. So celebrate National Paste Up Day.
That is not something I ever had to do.
Oh, it was fun.
course you would think that.
Because you would cut out, you'd get the X-Acto knife and have to cut out things, and then something you probably didn't think about. So when you buy something and it comes in a box, sometimes that box is an experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a cardboard box you cut open and there it is. So today is a day we celebrate both of those because it is National Packing Design Day.
Oh.
So when we celebrate and honor the creativity and innovation behind those packages that protect, present, and promote the products that we use daily, you know, everything from when you get an Apple product, it's all about that presentation.
Yeah.
Or, you know, as on TikTok, you see all the Hermes boxes, when they undo those, it's all about that. Or you can just get some brown tape, you just have to cut down the middle and there's your box.
Yeah, Amazon style.
Exactly.
I love a good box design experience though. Like FabFitFun, you know, they'll partner with like different artists to design the box each month, and that's always really cool to kind of see. The planner company that I use is very thoughtful in how they package things. It just feels like an elevated
Right, well, it's
kind
more,
of thing.
right, it
Yeah.
just adds another layer. I mean, I have one pair of glasses that came in this really fancy wood box that you then open drawers and things happen, and it's like, wow, it's like a little game.
I know, it's always funny when you get like a box that's like, well, this is too nice to throw away. I don't really need another box, but like, it's just so pretty. I can't just toss it.
Oh, need another box is always on the list. So
Really looking forward to seeing your house.
then you have boxes of boxes.
I know, yeah.
So, but yeah, and you know, and I'm still disappointed. Years ago, I saw a CD-ROM of basically box design of all these different boxes, and I didn't buy it.
Oh, gasp.
I know, because now I could be making my own boxes of all kinds of wonky shapes and sizes. And so, now it is also Tourist Day. Because, you know, tourists bring so much to our economy here, whether it's in-state, so a staycation to an international trip, everyone can be a tourist, whether you're just on a different side of town you normally go to. It is a time to just celebrate that vital role that tourists play, and I wanted to highlight one of my favorite places that people normally don't go. This is up near Page, Arizona.
Antelope Canyon?
Antelope Canyon, the Slot Canyons. So there's so many things across Arizona and beyond to go and explore.
Yes, we love tourists. I love being a tourist. It's definitely an important industry.
Right, so start planning your next adventure, even if it's just down the street or halfway across the globe.
Yeah.
It's all fun. So, do we have anything we could be doing while we plan our next adventure?
It is AZ BizCon 2025 at the National Bank of Arizona Conference Center in Phoenix, kicking off at 8 a.m. So this is the Arizona Small Business Association, and they are celebrating National Small Business Week and some of the Arizona winners. You can connect with tons of quality exhibitors showcasing a full array of innovative resources from those small businesses. So don't miss out on this opportunity. There'll be some great networking, tons of business leaders and entrepreneurs on site. This is from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're a member, it's $325, and for non-members, it's $475. So AZ BizCon 2025 is happening. That's weird. It sounded weird coming out of my mouth for a second. I was like, 2025 sounds so futuristic. I don't know why I thought that.
It's now. Now is the future.
Yeah. Okay, this is a trivia that I think I could rock pretty hard. It's the Ultimate Boy Band Trivia Night at the Sugar Bar in Chandler at 7 p.m. So this is really the best boy bands of all time, whether you're a fan of Backstreet Boys, One Direction, or if you're like me and loved NSYNC. The trivia night will be available for all, and as usual, the top 3 winners will win gift cards. There's no cover for this event, and it kicks off at 7 p.m.
I was just trying to figure out if I could name.
I bet you couldn't. Did you name a bunch? Here, put the image back up.
Yeah, put the
I'm
image
curious.
back up, because, well, I mean, the only one that I recognized was the Mbop people.
Hanson.
Yeah.
And you don't even know their names.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, the Hanson brothers.
Yeah, Take 5, Hanson Brothers, Backstreet Boys.
Is there any One
NSYNC,
Direction up there?
98 Degrees. I don't know if I can't. My eyes actually.
I
aren't
know.
that
It's like
good,
that
but
screen is. I'm like, who's down on the bottom?
I can't.
Who are those people?
I can't see.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
So.
okay. Well, you actually did better than I. Oh no, I named them. What am I giving you credit
right,
for?
No, I knew the Hansons. That was the only one I really knew.
All right, on a more serious note, we've got Malcolm X, the documentary you've never seen, showing at the Tempe History Museum at 6 p.m. So May 18th is the 100th anniversary of the birth of who the world knows as Malcolm X. And whereas Spike Lee's 1992 film brought major attention to Malcolm X, this 1978 documentary by Gil Noble entitled, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, speaks volumes and will add to your existing body of knowledge on the beloved Malcolm X. This is actually totally free to attend at the Tempe History Museum, and the film starts at 6 p.m.
Very cool. And and I just love that museum because they do so many different events. I mean, and so they've got a great space to see this, and then you can go tour the exhibits. So
yeah,
it'll be a fun night.
Another fun night thing to do if you are single and ready to mingle is the singles night happening at the Fox Cigar in Gilbert at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. That's my kind of singles event right there.
On a hump day.
On a hump day.
Wow.
So they actually do this every Wednesday. The ladies can enjoy half-off drinks all night long. Sorry, fellas. And whether you're flying solo or coming out with a group of friends, this is a midweek escape to, just mix and mingle and maybe become unsingle if you're lucky.
Not like unsingle.
Unsingle. It starts at 4, but it actually does go till 10 p.m. So
Right.
if
No,
you don't
I was like,
over
oh my
right
God, you got to be
before-
there at 4 o'clock. If you're late, you'll be single forever. But
It's
no,
not
because they go.
Cinderella ball. This is a 21 plus event, so sorry, you 18-year-old singles. This is not for you. This is mature adults only for this mingling.
Oh, like us.
Yeah. Well, neither of us are single. But
No, nor mature.
unless we want a new husband.
Right.
Like,
No,
to add to the
nor are we
fact.
very mature either. So.
No cover, by the way, for that. But you're probably gonna.
Oh
wanna bring,
yeah, because otherwise you'll get raspy voice, and nobody will want to date Brenda Vaccaro.
I know. And last but not least, this is a good one gearing up for Mother's Day. It's paint night, floral Mother's Day tea cup
Like
event.
paint your mom.
Nope. It's at the Edelweiss Beer Garden in Phoenix. So this is something that you can actually do with your mother if you want this year. They're going to be doing floral teacup paint and sip experience. So it's a relaxing evening of painting, sipping, and enjoying the vibrant Phoenix atmosphere. Tickets for this are $50 and include all the materials, and it is going to be at 6 p.m. I would definitely reach out sooner rather than later, though. These Mother's Day events tend to sell out fairly quickly.
Across the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be a fun one for sure, something different to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Well, that is our show for this hump day.
That's right. Hump day is coming to a close.
Well, it's
for
just
us.
getting started, really,
Right,
but for
right.
us, it's coming to a close. If you've got some events, things to do, celebrations, anniversaries, birthdays, anything you want us to shout out, where can they send that to, Marshall?
They can send it to email hello@onthemorningshow.com or Instagram at onthemorningshow.
I'm so proud of you.
We want to
to
hear from you, whether you did something really great. Maybe you're planning something super special with your mom.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to paint your mom.
That's a good sport. That's a good sport of a mom.
My mom would not be a good time.
My
she
mom
would not be quiet.
Yeah, she's not like a normal. I was gonna say she's not like a normal. Well, 'cause
She's
she
not like a
doesn't-
normal
She
mom?
doesn't like jewelry. She doesn't like spa days. She doesn't like arts and crafts. She doesn't do brunches. So it's always like, okay, Mom.
So would you take her to paint a teacup?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No. From what I understand, she wants to go to a Chinese food buffet this year. So I think we're doing that.
Well, there you go. So, all right. Well, whatever you do for Mother's Day or any other day, we want to celebrate you. So please throw us notes, throw us photos. Every time anything like that comes in, Anne, our producer, does a little dance.
She sure does. a little Irish jig every single time. Some river dance. You never know what she's going to bust out.
That's right.
I know.
All right, so we will be back here tomorrow morning with a whole new round. We've got a guest, we've got some other fun stuff. So you'll want to be sure to join us tomorrow for all that fun.